Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling something really woven into our daily lives, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely. How all this digital stuff, especially social media, affects our, well, our mental well-being.
Exactly. And you, our listener, shared some really interesting material called Coping with Digital Age Mental Health. So we're going to dig into that.
Mm-hmm. Find some practical takeaways.
Yeah, find some usable insights because this digital connection thing, it's everywhere.
It really is. And it's got its good sides,
Yeah.
connection, information, inspiration sometimes.
But also the downsides, that
Yeah.
feeling of just exhaustion.
Totally. Overwhelm is a big one. Constant stimulation. It can really drain you.
Right. And that's the core of it, isn't it? Social media fatigue, digital anxiety, these terms from the material.
Yeah, they really capture that tension, the notifications, the urge to check, feeling like you have to keep up.
So our mission today, using this material you sent, is to pull out some, actionable strategies, things you can actually use.
Right. Move beyond just talking about the problem and find some actual tools, things you can try, like today.
Okay, so think about this. It's late, you're tired, you told yourself you'd sleep early,
Uh-huh. I know this one.
but there you are, scrolling, just endlessly scrolling through feeds. Does that sound familiar?
Oh, absolutely. Then you put the phone down, but you feel kind of empty or anxious.
Yeah. Drained, not rested. That uneasy feeling like you missed something important.
It's so common. And like the material points out, you're really not alone if you feel that way. There's a clear link emerging, isn't there, between heavy social media use and things like anxiety, depression.
Yeah, and low self-esteem comes up too.
Yeah.
It's weird how something meant to connect us
Mm.
can end up making us feel, well, less connected to ourselves.
Paradoxical, right? Okay, so let's get into these terms a bit more. Social media fatigue.
Yeah.
What's the specific angle in the material?
Right. It's described as more than just being tired. It's like an emotional exhaustion.
Exactly. Fueled by the constant stream of content, opinions, those little dopamine hits from likes and shares. And it gets to a point where it's just overwhelming instead of inspiring. Your brain's just full.
Angst out. That makes sense. It's the sheer volume. And then there's digital anxiety. How's that defined?
So digital anxiety is more that restlessness, maybe if a post doesn't do well.
Oh, right. Low engagement causing stress.
Yeah, or just feeling disconnected or anxious when you're not online. Like you're missing out. FOMO, but constant.
It's like this low hum of worry about your online self.
Exactly. And the source stresses, these aren't just, small annoyances. They're real issues.
Increasingly common ones, too, with a real impact.
But the good news is there are things we can do. Proactive steps.
Okay, let's get practical then. Strategy 1, the 2-minute rule, or micro boundaries. Tell us about that.
Right. This one's pretty neat because it's so small but potentially powerful. The idea is just pause for 2 minutes before you open that app.
Okay, 2 minutes. What do you do in those 2 minutes?
You ask yourself, why am I opening this right now? What feeling am I actually looking for? So it breaks the habit, that automatic reach for the phone.
Precisely. It injects that moment of, conscious thought, disrupts the autopilot.
And if the answer is just boredom or habit,
Then the suggestion is to do something else, something really quick, like take a few deep breaths, or just stretch for a second.
okay, a tiny redirect.
Yeah, just a little bit of friction, makes you think before you tap. And for you, listening, wanting quick insights without overwhelm, this is great. Immediate, manageable control.
I like that. Small hinges, big doors. Okay, next up, curate, don't consume. This sounds like being more intentional.
Totally. It's about actively choosing what's in your feed.
Mm.
So unfollow or mute accounts that drain you, make you feel bad, or just add to the noise.
Right, be ruthless.
Maybe selectively ruthless. And then intentionally follow accounts that are actually uplifting
Mhm.
or educational or just positive for you.
And there was that analogy in the source.
Oh yeah, the digital diet one.
Ah.
Think of your feed as your digital diet. What you consume affects your emotional health.
It's sticky, right?
It really is. Puts the power back in your hands. You're not just passively scrolling whatever comes up.
Exactly. And if you're looking to learn efficiently, this helps you focus on the good stuff. Filter out the junk.
Makes sense. Okay, strategy 3. Digital detox days. Sounds intense.
Well, the advice is actually to start small. Really small. Don't think you need to go offline for a week.
Okay, so how small?
Like maybe just 1 hour a day with no screens. Or pick one Sunday a month for a longer break. Start where you are.
Manageable chunks. And what do you do instead? The source mission specifics.
Yeah, replace it with something analog. Read a physical book, cook, go for a walk, journal.
Or just sit quietly.
Yeah, even just sitting in silence, giving your brain a break from input.
And this connects to getting those aha
Mm-hmm.
moments, right? Stepping away gives you perspective.
Absolutely. Your brain gets space to process differently, connect ideas. It's hard to get that clarity when you're constantly taking stuff in. A different kind of thinking happens.
Okay, important. Next strategy. Reclaim your morning. How does this one work?
Super simple, potentially huge impact. No screens for the first 30 minutes of your day.
Just 30 minutes.
Yep. Let your mind wake up naturally. Don't immediately flood it with emails, news, social media.
Set your own tone for the day instead.
Exactly. Have coffee mindfully. Stretch. Look out the window. Whatever feels grounding to you. Fill your mind with intention first.
That feels very structured, which could really help manage that overwhelm, starting the day on your own terms.
For sure. Okay, last specific strategy. The 3 real connections rule. What's the core idea?
This one's about genuine connection. Aim for meaningful interaction with 3 people each day.
And meaningful means face-to-face or a phone call.
Exactly. A voice call counts. But crucially, DMs, comments, likes, they don't count for this rule.
Right. Need that richer interaction.
Yeah, the source says human voices matter. It emphasizes that depth.
That's such a vital point. Digital can connect, but it often lacks that.
Yeah.
Nuance, tone of voice, nonverbal.
Yeah. This rule encourages prioritizing those deeper exchanges. A good counterbalance to superficial online stuff.
Definitely grounding. Okay, so beyond those specific rules, the material also talks about mindfulness in the digital world.
Right. And it's not saying quit everything. It's more about how we use it.
Exactly. Shifting from just passive scrolling to conscious engagement, being present, even when you are online.
And there's a practical exercise for that moment you feel the mindless scroll starting.
Yeah, a really simple one. When you feel that urge, just pause. Take one breath. Consciously. Then notice your surroundings, what colors are around you, textures, sounds, even silence. Just ground yourself for a second.
Brings you back to the present moment.
Right. And then there's that quote, in a world screaming for your attention, your awareness is your rebellion.
Wow. Okay, that's powerful. Awareness is rebellion. I like that.
It really reframes it, doesn't it? Puts agency back in your hands.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what are some final key messages from the source? Things to really chew on.
Yeah, the concluding thoughts are pretty direct. First, you are more than your profile.
Important reminder. Don't confuse the online you with the whole you.
Exactly. And second, your worth isn't tied to engagement. Likes, shares, they don't define your value.
Crucial. So easy to forget that one.
Definitely. And this one's interesting. Rest is not laziness, it's resistance.
Resisting that always-on culture.
Yes. Prioritizing rest as an active choice against that pressure to always be productive.
These are vital points, especially when busyness often gets mistaken for worth.
And ultimately, the source frames this whole digital wellness thing not as a trend, but as a necessity. It's fundamental now.
Right. It's ongoing work for our well-being.
Absolutely. So this whole deep dive, drawing from your material, has been about finding these practical ways to navigate it all more mindfully, deal with the fatigue, the anxiety.
And it leaves us with that final thought, which I think is great for you, the listener, to really consider. Unplugging isn't about escaping.
Right. It's about reconnecting.
Yeah. Reconnecting with your thoughts, your breath, your actual real life, finding that healthier balance.
It's a fantastic perspective. Seeing those offline moments not as withdrawal, but as a positive step towards engaging more deeply with yourself and the world, a more sustainable way to